Hi, everybody. My name is Kunle Pelemo. You can call me KP. I'm asking you to join me every Friday, 5:30 p.m. GMT on the MHAASP Show right here on MZ Radio London. It's a show where we talk about mental health and suicide prevention. Set a reminder for that. And just before I go, I want to let you know I care about your mental health. And you know what? Stick around right here on this station. Don't go nowhere. Welcome to another edition of the MHAASP Show with KP on M. We talk about mental health and suicide prevention on the show. And it's good to have you join us on another bumper package that the show has to offer this week. I want to sincerely appreciate you for always tuning in. And then thank you for the feedback also you give, whenever you listen to the show. Like I always say, you can help somebody who is not listening, prod that person to tune in right now because there is so much more to learn on the show today. And there's also so much more to gain when you stick around with MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. Yes, KP is in the building already, and I have somebody talking on how to maintain your sanity during challenging periods. How to maintain your sanity during challenging periods. And this will stem from our personal story. So there is so much more to gain on the show today. My guest is in the building, and I am so much elated to have her join me today to discuss her personal story. And it's somehow when you have people who are willing to open up and tell you, their personal story means something that is highly commendable. And who is my guest? My guest is a business coach, an author, the convener of Passion to Profit Business Masterclass, who has been doing a lot. She has made the pages of several magazines and dailies in Nigeria, and she has trained a whole lot of people, and she's passionate about mental health as well. Bunmi Ajayi joins me today. Bunmi, how are you? Good to have you. Yeah, you can unmute, Bunmi.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you. It's good to be here today doing this. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah, it's been a long while that we've been on this, that okay, and thank God it happened today.
I'm telling you, like we've been back and forth today, tomorrow, but finally we're doing this today, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, sure. It's such a good thing. Yeah, you're a busy person, and then also, I mean, one thing I admire about sometimes when to have your peace of mind and
Yeah.
maintain sanity, and that's one of the reasons why you are here on the show today, because I
Yeah.
believe one of the ways we can curb the stigma as regards mental health is when we have people share their success story, because somehow
True.
there will be somebody out there, who will learn from that and know that he or she is not alone as regards
Mhm.
mental health related issues. So, you coming up to come and do that on the show today is worth commending. Thank you once again. So, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to let us into your story, how it happened, and what are the things you do to build resilience and to keep your sanity during that period. And then we're going to have follow-up questions along the line. So, Bumi, over to you.
Okay. So how do I even start? So the first thing I would say is to have to maintain sanity during challenging times is to have acceptance, is to accept that you're going through something and then you need help. Like most people go through stuff and they live in this denial that it's not possible. And that's why people who are in toxic relationship find it hard to come out, because they just can't believe that the person they are with or their spouse has become toxic all of a sudden. So it's like, oh my God, am I dreaming? Is this really happening? It can't be, it can't be. Maybe this person will change, maybe this person will not change. So they believe in that denial that, oh God, this is not happening, this is not happening. And so, but one of the first thing to help anyone get out of bad times is to accept that there's a problem, and then accept that it's hurting you, because most people don't accept they're hurting. They just go all, I'm strong, I'm independent, nothing, I'm not going to complain. We really need to accept that you're hurting, and then accept the journey, and then accept that things are not going to be the way they used to be, and accept that something is going to change once you accept this truth. So that's like the first thing, the first step to take: acceptance, accepting what is going on, accepting your journey, accepting your pain and the changes that come with it. And then you want to be around people who understand. They might not really understand the pain fully, but they have an idea what it means to go through pain. Because most times you are surrounded with people who just feel, oh, don't worry, it is well. They tell you it is well, don't worry, you'll be fine. But they don't really understand the main pain, and so they can't accept it with you. For me, I had someone who was always telling me, you need to accept it. Is She accepted the fact that, okay, there's a pain going on, and in these challenging times, we are going to be uncomfortable. We are going to have times when somebody is crying and somebody is losing hope, and then the person that's like an accountability partner will have to pull you out. So it's one thing to have the right people, is another thing to have the people who understand the pain, who understand the journey, and who understand that they need to be there for you, and they know that it won't be comfortable. Because I mean, when you're going through challenges, you have times where you just complain, you cry, and crying to the right people that will tell you it's fine, and they will snitch on you and go behind you and be laughing at you. And then you just have to keep yourself busy, because when you're going through challenging times, it becomes, your hobbies becomes like boring. So you have to find something else. Sometimes your strength becomes weaker, so you have to find something else to distract you at that point. And that's where when people are going through depressive stage or they are stressed, there's always this, oh, find something to distract you, because the moment you distract yourself, you change focus from what is going on, and changing the focus a whole lot will be said. And that's why when people are suicidal, you hear people mental health trying to talk them out of it, trying to make them feel okay, fine, just to shift their attention. And so once the attention can be shifted, you get the person back, and then you know what to do at that point in time. And so for me, it was crazy, having to be sick for like a year, and constant injections and all that. It was crazy. And the funniest thing was, when you're going through situations, you're supposed to have friends. But I started cutting off people because I realized they were not good, they were not healthy, they were just there for the good time. And it really broke me. But I said, you know what? If we are going to get better, if we are going to be the star that we're meant to, that we are, we need to go on some self-isolation journey from certain people. So yes, my three main thing of thinking is, you know, accepting and being understanding your journey, understanding and accepting the pain, be with the right people that truly understand the pain, and then isolation from anything that will trigger. And then even when you can't stay away from this situation, people are, they can't stay away from their trigger. You have to learn how to manage it and not go crazy over it.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
And then, okay,
okay. I can hear you. Yeah, you can continue.
So, and then in most cases, it's usually those times where you get a defining moment where you get to ask yourself questions. What next? Sometimes people don't even want to ask what next is. But these are crazy times, are vulnerable times where you really have to see yourself the way you are. I mean, you tell yourself the truth that, okay, this is me, this is my strength, this is what I need to do. And then the reason why people come out of crisis and become terrible is because they were scared of being vulnerable to themselves. You know, that vulnerability is not a place people want to be. It's not a place people enjoy. They don't even like to smell the gates if it
Yeah.
was a house or if it was an environment. So they don't want to. And so they
Mm,
just mark the whole appearance thing and be like, yeah, I'm getting fine. And then we're back to the first thing I said about being accepting what is going on, accepting the pain, understanding the pain, and finding out, okay, how long do I think this thing is going to last? Because sometimes you just don't even see the headway, you don't see it ending soon. And then they say, oh, keep hoping. But you know, you have to hope with strategy. Okay,
yeah.
so you say, okay, this is going to get better. You need to know how to maintain your mental state, protect your space. If you feel sometimes the reason why we keep people is because we are scared of being alone, which goes back to being vulnerable, discovering yourself.
Mm,
Truly, self discovery is not fun because it is
mm,
you telling yourself the deepest of truth that you don't want
mm,
anybody to see. You seeing that, oh, this is my weak point, this is where I have strength, and all of that. So, yes,
yeah.
we need to just, accept it and don't try to form um, James Bond 007 and say, yes, I'm strong, I don't need help. Living in denial is a bad thing. For me, there are times where I just wanted to scream. And I'm like, no, you can't scream because in Nigeria, when you start screaming in the middle of the night, you're
Mm,
going to cause alarm and people will be like, what's going on? Okay, this is going crazy. So you just have to keep telling your mind, protecting your mind from every further issue. It could be you logging out of social media. It
yeah.
was me logging out of social media. I just actually logged into my Instagram page this evening today. I said, okay, I'm ready. And then it is you really cutting people who don't
Mm.
support you off.
Now, let me come in. How lonely does it feel and by being alone? How lonely does it feel, and how do you handle that loneliness so that
It
it will not
is.
lead to something, something I mean, something like be devastating somehow.
Honestly, for someone who is an extrovert who has plenty friends or so-called friends and people around, and then all of a sudden you cut them off, it is freaky. It is low. Like there was another word to use. That's the
Mm,
word because you're used to calling people and people are like, hey, what's up? And then you no longer have those people to call. Even if you want to call them, you remind yourself that I can't call this person because this person is a trigger. And there were times that I would just cry because it was new to me and me. And another thing, people don't accept their new journey. They don't accept their new phase. They still hold on to their past
mm,
experience. I'm this. So it was difficult. And I was like, okay, so in order to get out of this, and there were times where I had some crazy thoughts, but in order to get out of it, I started taking courses
okay.
on mental health. Not because I just wanted to, use it to distract myself, and it really did help for me. So sometimes when it comes so lonely, instead of going back to the former experience, do something new, find a new, it might be for you to do something, a new, it might not really necessarily be a hobby. I don't want to say hobby, but do
Yeah.
something that takes away your mind. but you are accepting the fact that, okay, I'm lonely and I don't want to be in this condition because this is what is going to happen. So you do something. So for me, it was buying of courses on stress management, on mental health, and branding, and okay, some of the courses I have not finished, but it really did help because in keeping your brain active on something that is entirely different. I mean, I got interested in psychology and the human mind, which
Okay.
is out of my field, but it was
Okay.
interesting to know how the mind works when under milliseconds. So we have the normal seconds, we have milliseconds, which is less than 1 second, and under say 0.1 milliseconds, a whole lot of things has changed. And then you're from being the crying person, you're not smiling and you're seeing things from a different perspective. Sometimes it's very difficult to even see things from a different perspective because you're just there, you're just in that environment. You know, it's like a crab trying to shed off his former shell. So usually the crab is used to shedding off, but when it becomes older and gets to that stage where, okay, this is a defining moment. I don't want to be like this. You will have to shed internal shell off your body, and that is usually more painful and stressful. So to really get out and be mentally sane is most sometimes to be really lonely because you will have everybody understand your pain
Mm.
and the challenges that come with it.
That will
Because look
come
at it,
into it.
someone who is going through, who is depressed, definitely we need to
Mm.
find to understand what it means to be depressed and the challenges. It means when this person can suddenly call you by 4 p.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You might not want, you might feel attacked, you might feel, oh, this person is bothering me, but those are the challenges. And that's why it's very important to have people who understand, at least have an idea. Okay, this is
Yeah.
the pain. People understand the pain, but they don't understand the challenges that come with it and they don't know how to handle it. So sometimes step 2 and 3 are usually missing. And that's why people say, you know what, I don't want to talk to you. There are times where I tell them, oh God, I hope I'm not bothering. And the person said, I understand this is a
Mm.
phase you have to go through. And so it
Mm.
was really helpful. It
Okay.
was really, really helpful.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Let's quickly take a break now. I mean, I can see from there how you've been able to become productive during that period or moment of being lonely. You know, like you now channeling your, focus to the study of the mind and mental health as well. I mean, that's productivity, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something people can learn from. We'll go on a short musical break now. When we come back, I want you to talk about the forms of support that you have or that people should have, when one is in this challenging period, because support is key. So if you have,
True.
yeah, what are the kinds of support you have, or what are the ideal forms of support that people should have? And that will come after this break. It's still the MHAASP Show. The song of Shenwe Benisa is here.
In the morning time, be it noon or night, he'll be right there. He'll see you through what you're going through and pull you through. you're going through and pull you through. Don't be.
This is MZ Radio London, the hottest online radio station that everyone's talking about.
This is MZ Radio London, the hottest online radio station that everyone is talking about. And we call it Station on the Hill. This is also AP Radio UK station with distinction. And he's your boy. That's a show where we talk about mental health and suicide prevention. And I still have in the building with me Bunmi Ajayi, a business coach and a mental health advocate. And she's been sharing a personal story with us on how to manage and maintain your sanity when you're going through challenging period. So before we went on that break, I said we were going to talk about the support. What are the forms of support you had during, this period, and what is also to you the ideal form of support that people should have? Do you have the ideal form of support in terms of people around you, your family, and then maybe you make use of the services of professionals?
Yeah, the first thing is going through a depressive time is to get the help of a professional and then understand the type of crisis you're going through. Is it mental? Is it business wise? Because when you understand the types, you know how to prevent it from spreading to others. So for health, if one is sick, it will definitely affect every other thing. So definitely you know that you need to keep your health in check. And by keeping your health in check, you have to have doctors that know your health history, and then you stay away from things that will trigger you. So in form of same support is also keeping knowing your triggers is also part of support, because it is you supporting your health, it is you
Mm,
supporting your mind. And then sometimes, when you have people who come together, who put you in prayers, who are always praying for you, who send you things to motivate you, they might not call you always, but when they send you a message, you know it's for the best. So
yeah.
people, the best form of support is people who understand the pain, understand what it
Mm,
feels, and understand that okay, this is going to be crazy. They
mm,
sometimes understand the root. And so when you understand the root, they know how to relate with you. And then again, you need to understand your kind of person, your personality type. How do you react to news? How do you
mm,
react to triggers? Do you cry? Do you say hurtful words to people? So these are the things too, you need to know yourself and know how you react to situation. So there were times where someone would say something that just didn't make sense. And I didn't even have to argue. Usually I'll have tried to prove a point, but instead I just blocked the person. You know what?
mm,
Stay off my. You don't need to view my status, and then I started accepting that you don't need to explain things to everyone. If you're going through situations, for you to be better, you don't have to explain to everyone, because not everybody will understand. Most times they don't even care, they just want to hear news. So to stay sane, to protect your sanity, is to stay away from triggers. I'm working on my second book, Red Hills Will Hurt. And I realized every time I wanted to write something, I got angry. And I realized, okay, I'm yet to heal from the experience of my health challenges. So I just dropped. I said, you know what? I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm going to
mm,
try all I can do to get healing. I know there were times where I had to chat to some people and they said, okay, you know what, I feel this is what you should do. And then talking to the right people, professional. Sometimes it's better to speak to professionals, and not all professionals to understand your pain, because
okay.
mental health comes in different dimensions. They pop up. So this guy, Mr. A, might be experiencing, might be in stage one depression, and and Mr. B might be in stage 4 depression. Obviously, you can't use the same method for them. So I feel when it comes to mental health and healing, we should have different healing strategies for different people, because it's just okay. So you see this person is experiencing depression, and you find out that okay, what is causing this depression is it's interwoven. It's from family, it's from business, it's from things of the past, and it's going to be different from the method they're going to give to somebody who just had a breakup, and then this breakup is affecting the business. It's there are different methods. So I feel we should, as mental health advocates or professional, we should stop giving the same healing drugs to everyone. So just like malaria, you're having typhoid. It varies, and sometimes it's the same malaria drug, but in different doses. And they might give you this malaria drug and think you use it 2 times a day, and somebody else will say use it one time,
Yeah.
3 times daily, 2, 3 times daily. So
Yeah.
it depends on how deep
How?
it is.
Okay. 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 Well, we are about to round off now. Just in 1 minute, I will want you to just reach out to somebody who is maybe mental health challenges in one way or the other, just to let that person know that that is not the end of the road. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, in 1 minute. It's okay to
Yes.
see. The best thing is cry if you want to cry, cut off people if you need to cut them off, and um, try and have fun and accept the process. I mean, I lost a lot of weight, and it was recently I said, you know what, I need to stop trying to get fat, fighting it. Let me just
Mm,
accept this new body. And I did, and somehow it's quite discouraging, but when you accept it and you say, you know what, we'll be in this
mm,
process together, celebrating every process of the day, it helps. And when you feel better today, you say, yeah, I feel better. Then you find out what made you feel better. Okay, I spoke to this person. Then you find out, do I
wow.
need to speak to this person, or do I need to keep this person as a long relationship, or I should just keep this person as a, you know, social media friend. So all of this are very important.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I believe people are listening out there will have learned a lot from how you have used your story to let us know how to manage, and maintain our sanity during challenging period. Bumi Ajayi, so good to have you on the show. And we know when we call again, you're going to avail yourself.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for having me.
it's a pleasure. Yeah, special thanks to Mr. Saji Harmony and all fields as our producers and MZ Radio London and Inc. And like I always say, statemently healthy. The song of joy salute everything. That's what I will leave you with. Bye.
I've searched all over, but I know fit find one person when feel love me like you do, when fit do the things you do, and all